Hi, it's Rob from the Brush and Bulkum. Today I'm going to be doing a quick tutorial on how to paint brown leather armour. So the first colour that we're going to use is Citadel Mournfang Brown. I'm just going to give the top that he's wearing there a full coating of this, and that's going to be like some sort of leather jerkin that he's wearing over the top of his clothes. It's a very basic paint job to do leather this, but the results are pretty good, and if you're just painting up all your dungeon miniatures pretty quickly, then it's a good technique to use. So you do want to give it a nice smooth coat. So you want to get each of the parts with the Mournfang Brown, and if it dries streaky, go back over those streaky parts just so you've got one nice smooth colour all over. I can use this technique with pretty much any brown, as long as you want the leather to look roughly that colour. I do tend to use Vallejo beige brown quite a lot when I'm working on the leather straps around the hafts of weaponry and things like that, but Mournfang Brown I think looks good as a kind of leather jerkin colour. The miniature that you're using here is one of the Frostgrave Barbarians. Now they're part of a multi-part plastic kit, so you get all different bits and pieces you can fit to them. They are really good kits. Like so. Next up, I'm going to give that a quick wash with Citadel Agrax Earthshade. Now Agrax Earthshade is just going to go into all the recesses and darken them up. It brings out a lot of the detail when you put the shades on. So you want to make sure that when you're putting them on, you get a decent amount onto the miniature, so there's enough to sink into all those recesses. Like so. Next up, we're going to return to Citadel Mournfang Brown. We're going to reapply that to the leather jerkin, but we're going to make sure that you leave the Agrax Earthshade within all the recesses. I can see here that I'm doing almost like highlights with it when I'm going over these creases. So you just want to be doing the top side of the creases where the light will be catching it. You're leaving the shade in the recess. You're also leaving the shade on the underside of the creases as well. Also see when I'm doing this that there's very little paint on the brush, You just want to be getting just enough paint on the tip of the brush that you can apply it without putting too much on at any one time. Like so. Next up, we're going to add a little bit of Vallejo flat earth to the Mournfang brown. Now you can add the likes of snakebite leather or something similar to that, whatever the new version of that paint is, because they are quite similar colours. If you mix that in with the Mournfang brown, and you can do a nice little highlight using that. The light seems to be catching the ridges a little bit more than it usually does when I'm painting this bit. I'm not too sure because it looks like it's already highlighted, but it's actually just the Mournfang brown in the shade. And I think that the light is catching those ridges a little bit more than usual. Once we've added this layer, it does flatten that down just enough. This layer is being painted like a highlight. So as always, you're looking for the areas where the light is going to catch it and trying just to highlight those areas. It does give the impression that the light is shining down on the miniature. If you are looking for generic fantasy miniatures, it is worth having a look at the Frostgrave ones. They do a male soldiers pack, a female soldiers pack, barbarians pack, cultist pack. Each one, I think you get around 20 miniatures in it. And they're all multi-part plastics, loads of different head options and weapon options on them. If you need a lot of basic human troops that you can customise and change up a little bit, it's worth having a look at the packs of them, having a look at the sprues, because they are really, really good miniatures. Like so. Now we're just going to add a little bit of scuffing to it using Citadel Rakarth flesh mixed with the previous mix of colours. All you're going to do is very, very lightly paint this on so that it leaves a kind of rough edge around it, so it looks like it's where the leather's been scuffed and you've got rid of that smooth, almost shiny surface on top, and you're down to that rough, scuffed look that you get on used leather. That's what we're trying to add here to some of the more prominent creases that would have been worn over time. As I say, this is a very quick and easy method of doing the leather. You can take a lot more time on it. You can smooth out the highlights first and then use a far thinner brush so that you can get a lot of detail doing those scuffs on the leather. If you do put too much on, you can just use your thumb to wipe a little bit of the excess off. Don't rub too hard or you'll rub the previous layer of paint off. You can see with the brush strokes that I'm doing here, I'm trying to leave a bit of a tatty edge to the colour. Just to give that little rough leather look. Like so. Thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and if you have, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel below so you don't miss any future content. Also, think about subscribing to some of our other social media linked below. Thanks very much.